Yeah, we found out all four motor mounts was gone on our van. All four. They say the van was riding on the transmission. You know what damage that could have caused? Do you know what could have happened? And then one shop said it was going to cost us close to $2,000 just to get the four motor mounts fixed. That's crazy. Almost had a heart attack, guys. Oh my God. We have been driving a van like that for at least 6 months. At least 6 months, guys. And it just got battered and noise over time and time. We didn't know how serious it was. We didn't realize how serious that was, guys. That was really serious. I could have hurt myself, could have hurt somebody else, and we could have really damaged that van. Well, it wouldn't have been worth fixing it because that van is a 2010. That van is 16 years old. Oh, if that wasn't nobody but God, that was God answered our prayer. That was God that, got us the discount that we did get. That was God all the way around. Especially we had the money to get it fixed. I thought this van was going to cost us $3,000 to fix it. Then we found out all four motor mounts was gone. And then one of our tires was about to blow. Oh my God, guys, this is crazy. This is out of four motor mounts that was gone. They said that the motor was sitting on the transmission and it could have did a whole bunch of more damage. Thank God it didn't. So the motor mount was only 130, guy. The motor mounts could have been way more. And then my husband's friend fixed, and guess how much he charged? He only charged $200 to put those four motor mounts. If we would have took it to a real auto shop, that would have well costed us over $2,000. And then the tires, guy. We got four slightly used tires because we called around and they wanted 120 a tire, guys. So we called our friend and he gave us four slightly used tires for $175, guys. $175. If that ain't nobody but God answered our prayer, that's God. And it pays to have good Lord friends to help you out. Four tires for $170, $130 for four motor mount, and the guy only charged us $200 to put it on. Guys, if that wasn't what a blessing, I don't know what a blessing is. This job could have cost well over $3,000 with the tires, but we paid under $1,000. I'll put the total amount that we paid up in the corner. But guys, that was a blessing. That was a huge blessing. I was so worried. I was really worried. We depend on this van. This is the only, transportation we have. I could use my daughter's car, but she needs that for herself. Thankful we had a dear friend who worked on our vehicle for years. He been working on our vehicles forever. Every car we have, he done worked on it. The part only cost about $130. He charged us $200 to fix it. Instead of paying around $2,000, we got everything fixed for about, I think it was five, a little over five, because we had to pay $60 for them to put the tires on. And we didn't get them balanced because they say really you just get tire balance like, you're going to be on the freeway. We don't really drive the freeway. We don't really go too much, Now since we're retired, so guys, thank God. And the tires, we called around and they wanted $120 for one new tire. Guys, we got four tires for $175. Four slightly used new tires for $175, guys. If that wasn't no steal, because what? Four tires would have been $480, and that's not even including the balance. $480, guys. It would have been well over $600 probably to get them balanced and put them tires on. Four motor mounts. Labor. It wasn't nobody but God. Being retired and living on a budget isn't easy. It's not. But sometimes things have a way of working out. It does. That's why I always tell people to have emergency fund. You have to have an emergency fund. What if we didn't have that much money to get it fixed? Then what we would have did? You always got to have an emergency fund, guys. You have to. Because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Guys, we are so blessed. You know, if this would have happened in January, February, we wouldn't have had the money. We would have had to borrow it. But thank God, by me cutting back on bills, cutting back on buying things, we had the funds to get this fixed. I had other plans, but that's the only thing we can do. We can't get mad. We could just thank God we had the money to get it done. Thank God we had some, peoples to help us to get it done. Especially Guy Bobo. He done saved us over so much money. And then the other man down the street passed away. He helped us. He done helped us with the car. He done helped us with the house. If it wasn't for those two guys, I don't know. So we need to find us a younger version, because like the man down the street, he gone. Bobo's like 80-something years old guy. 80-something years old. He can get up there and build a car blind. That man know his job. He know what to do. He know. It ain't now car we done had that he didn't know what was wrong with it or how to fix it. Over the years, over the last 30 years, we has not took him now car and he was like, oh, I don't know what to do. You're gonna take it to the shop. What we do, we go to AutoZone, they diagnose it, take it to him, he look it over, he do his own diagnosing, tell us what parts to get. He's a blessing. Buried down the street, bless his heart. He was a blessing. And you think about stuff, you don't know why things happen, and then when they do happen, you're like, okay, that's why God was preparing me to save money. That's why God had me cut those bills down, because he knew I was going to need the money now. He knew. If I wouldn't have cut those 2 bills down, and since I'm getting the food boxes, we're able to save on food, we wouldn't have had the money to get that done. So you think about it and wonder why things happen, and later on you see, okay, that's why I had that extra money. I was gonna need to use it for something. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys, you gotta have emergency fund. You gotta work, you gotta save, because you never know. You know what tomorrow could bring. You never know. And if you don't have that emergency money saved, I tell my kids I want them to have 3 months emergency money saved. You have to. You never know what you might need some money for. Emergency funds and life insurance. Those are 2 things we can't live without. Emergency fund, we know something might happen, gonna happen. Life insurance, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna be young, we're gonna be old. We're gonna go. You need some type of emergency fund. And life insurance. And you need to get this life insurance while you're young, because you're older. Even younger people can catch, diseases that the insurance is going to deny. So my kids been having insurance ever since they was 10 days old. That's why we need life insurance young as possible, because you know how these insurance companies are. You have a deadly illness, they don't want to cover you, or they're going to charge you more money. That's a blessing from God. And thank you, God. Leave here for 2 things: emergency fund and life insurance, a job, work, 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 save, save, save. At least 3 to 6 months emergency funds you need. Like it's